Happy New Year, everyone. Just to clarify for those who are new here, I began this channel more on the patriotic side of things. I did some work with Patriot Soapbox, but as I began to read more, in particular William Cooper, I began to understand the much larger picture at play here, and it's the spiritual side. For that reason, my channel has followed a different path than what we intended. I knew my family's lineage within Freemasonry and became really focused on finding out what I could about what that really means for me, and it's been a lot. I've also focused on similar channels here with exposing this system or Brotherhood. People like Nicholson, 1968, Jesse Zaboter, and George Eisman with Reveal Report, Nathan and Chelsea Reynolds with the Linen Railroad, and even Gire, even though he's in Europe, he provides a lot of exposing the symbols and those things, especially over in Europe. And others like that who are shining a light on the dark side of Freemasonry and their agenda. With all of that being said, this is my testimony, my opinion formed through my own personal experience, along with my knowledge of the subjects as found through reading and research. So thanks for joining me on this. I've decided to call this series Out of Order. In my opinion, this is just one of many details that marks a Freemason and his family. What exactly does that mean? Simply put, they love to take things out of God's order. With our Creator God, so mentioned in the Holy Bible, there is an order to His creation and design, and the Freemasons know it. Not only do they know it, they want to defile it by mixing things up, taking things out of order, with an intention and purpose in doing so. I will not be going in chronological order with my memories either, mainly because it will flow better this way, but also because out of order is the name of their game. First, because my family has its association not only with the Shriners on my maternal side, but also with Scouts on my paternal side. We should first look at what the word Shriner means. Interestingly, my 1947 college dictionary actually acknowledges the Shriners as they really are, the ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine. That is so noted in definition number 4. Let's look at the other meanings here. A shrine is a case, box, or receptacle, especially for sacred relics. It is also a tomb of a saint or other sacred person, and also a place or object hallowed from its association. As the ancient Arabic order, it states this secret order is said to have originated at Mecca in 646 AD. However, in their own writings, they acknowledge that Mecca, the original Mecca, is actually located in New York, the state of New York. It tries to disassociate this order from the Freemasons, but we know this isn't true. Being a Freemason is required to become a Shriner, because it is a much higher degree on the Masonic ladder. This also tells me what the Shriners, at least in part, are involved with, and that is keeping the sacred relics of the Brotherhood, or the shrine. What could some of these sacred relics be? No doubt items used to interact with the spiritual realm, especially for the Brotherhood. But before we get too far along, we need to look at the definition of some other key words so noted in defining Shriner. First, the word relic. The very first definition of this word is corpse. Are you surprised? I'm not. It's also an object venerated by the faithful because of its association with a saint or other sacred person. It also can be ruins or residue, a survival, a vestige, a souvenir or memento of the past. Now here are some additional words we will need to define to get the full context here. And first, we need to look up the word hallowed. So hallowed means blessed, consecrated. And I have concluded through the definition so far that the Shriners are involved in part with keeping the sacred relics of the Brotherhood, which includes corpses and consecrated objects, both which are found in or around churches. It also includes ruins, places like Stonehenge that are outside or on certain geographical locations, and I'm sure these are connected to ley lines. Also, this includes mementos of the past or historical objects. These relics are numerous throughout the earth and makes obvious to me the number of men involved to secure these things and places from the masses. This also implies that this Brotherhood has more members than we think operating in secret. A lodge is located in nearly every city and town in the U.S. This shows us more accurately how many members it takes to run this system. When you are brought up in a Freemasonic family, it's been my experience that you are not really consciously aware of exactly how you are being trained or taught to navigate the system constructed by this Brotherhood. For me, it has taken listening to others, and that has really brought to my attention that I and my family are a part of this system. It's like being inside a house, looking out as opposed to being outside of a house, looking in. I must admit it's been hard for me to come to understand exactly what my family has been a part of, but necessary. God is calling me out of this Brotherhood system, exposing as a witness at least what I have lived through and experienced. I believe there are so many more like me, simply because there is a Masonic lodge in every city. That is how widespread this really is. So I'm going to point out 2 words constantly used in this brotherhood, or at least words that I constantly heard growing up. Words to manipulate others. And one is civic and the other is community. You are taught to be civic minded and to be involved in community. So let me define those 2 words first. And in case you haven't figured it out yet, all words have multiple meanings in the Brotherhood. It's taken me a while to fully understand what we're really talking about here, but it is just like Bugs Bunny told us. It's magic words and phrases.
Magic words and phrases. Sounds interesting. Yeah. Magic can be performed either by potions or by the use of magic words and phrases.
The word civic is defined as relating to a citizen or city, or citizenship or civil affairs, which in defining the word civil we come across as pertaining to civic affairs as distinguished from the military, naval, or ecclesiastical as a civil marriage or in accordance with Roman civil law. This gets interesting, doesn't it? I'm not surprised why this word is so important and emphasized. Please read the whole definition, of course, for clarity and context. But jumping to the word community, community really means society at large, or a body of people within a certain region. Through these 2 words, taught diligently throughout the Brotherhood, you learn leadership through civic duties within the community you live in. In the next video, I'll explain my own training received through scouting, which is an introduction to children in Freemason families on learning the New Age teachings of the Brotherhood. Keep in mind, Scouts is only one aspect of how children receive training. There are many people testifying to their own experiences here, and other entities and organizations that also train children. But it's, in my opinion, that Freemason families put their children into these programs to receive that training. But I'd like to leave you with some of what I've learned through the land assignments on kingdomlivingwithjessie.com. I would like to encourage any of you wanting to know more to visit that website. So far, I'm learning the real meaning behind the symbols of not only states, but of certain organizations within local communities. Some I've made mention of before, like these. Most of these organizations shown here have spiritual contracts within the Brotherhood system. In my opinion, land assignments are for taking the spiritual authority God has given us for our own land. Each one of these logos or seals give authority to certain entities and certain people operating within the system. This also coincides with other symbols and their hidden meanings within the Brotherhood. Each part of a symbol represents something. The color on the symbols, the club, organization or state named, the identifying symbols, like the fleur-de-lis, for example, all provide clues to those with trained eyes. Since Louisiana is the state my family is from, we'll look at that, even though I no longer live in that state and haven't for a while. It's a great start for you to see. It's a great example to begin with. Everything on this seal means something in particular to those with eyes to see. And we'll delve further into these meanings as we go along. Once again, I would encourage you to check out these land assignments for yourself and see how you can apply it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Even though my channel is not monetized, your prayers are welcome. Let us continue to encourage one another, always seeking Jesus first. And until next time, let us pray.